Yo, what is going on, y'all? Welcome into Cardinalytics and Arizona Cardinals podcast, hosted by fans for the fans here on September 17th, 2025. A few days removed from another Cardinals victory here on the podcast. This is our, we had 8 last year, we had 4 the year before that. So 12, 13, we're enjoying the victories here and there. But another one has come. Cardinals are 2-0. Going into this 2025-2026 season. Feels good. We're here to recap this game as well as preview the next game. Here are my co-hosts, Shad, Jake. How you boys feeling after another victory?
Like the title says, a win is a win.
A win, but a loss, but a win. Jake, tough game. You were in the environment. I mean, I guess maybe I'm, overemphasizing a tough game. You were in the stadium rocking. How was it out there, out in the Red Sea, dealing with the Panthers? Winning against them, finally, kind of beating them how we feel like we should have beat them all the time. But this time we kind of got a kind of close game at the end. But how was it in the stadium?
Yeah, it was good. I would genuinely say, like, as far as Cardinals fans, I did not see many Panthers fans there. It truly finally was a sea of red. Yeah, I ended up going, obviously. We sat like corner of the end zone on the Cardinals sideline to the players' left. We were like 20 rows up or something, 25 rows up. Good seats, honestly. Dude, it was crazy. There was a group behind me, like guys like around our ages. They were all like friends, and then they were sitting with like a guy on the end who was like a Panthers fan. And this guy, dude, was honestly the most annoying guy out there. And yeah, I don't know. He was wearing a hat that said something, so I didn't even end up. I just kind of let him talk. And then like eventually he said something about not even being a Panthers fan. So I was like, dude, why are you here wearing a Panthers jersey, talking all this shit with Cardinals fans, and you're not even a Panthers fan? And he's like, oh, I'm just like a big troll and like whatever. So I was like, all right, bro. You do you, but so that was pretty odd. But yeah, man, the sport was great. A lot of Cardinals fans. It was actually loud, I would say, for the first time that I've experienced at the end of the game. Most of the people had left by that point, but it became a game again. And for those of us that were left, I mean, dude, people, myself included, banging the hell out of the seats, screaming as loud as we could, dude. It was genuinely loud in there. Like when the players, and I don't know if you could hear it on TV, but when the players in like Gannon, I think Rallis might have said something about it, talking about like the fans helping him out. Like, dude, we genuinely were loud. So that was actually like awesome to see and be a part of. I lost my voice the next day, of course, but it was cool, man. It was definitely good to see that. But yeah, I mean, we'll get into it here. Just an absolute sickening game, honestly, as a fan.
Yes, sir. That's why we love your perspective as a fan that can get inside the stadium for most home games. Definitely, hopefully we can join you out there for another game this year. But definitely love to hear that. Has quick comments before we get started. Jackie came in and said, Jake getting season tickets or what?
Quick update on that. So I'd filled something out like last year, and I started getting like the sales calls. And there was like a day at work where I'm getting a call from like an Arizona number, and I'd like at this time hadn't even been living here that long. So I like go to answer the call, step away from the desk, and this sales lady is just on my case. This was back in like February, like maybe even before the Super Bowl or maybe even earlier, January. I don't even know. It had been past that. Our season was over. We were done. And she's like on my case, like, oh, we're selling out. You got to get these tickets. And I'm like, listen, like, when I moved here in season last year, there was still plenty of season tickets to be going around. She was like, no, it's so different. Like, by the draft, we expect to be sold out. And I was just like, respectfully, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not too worried about that happening. If it does happen, like, that's all good. Bro, and they just wouldn't leave me alone. Like, they just kept calling and calling and calling. And it was like, I was going to get 2 tickets, and it was going to be like, I don't know, like $5,500 or something like that for the year. And then I just started thinking about it, and it's like, because I was eligible to go to like 6 games last year from the time I had moved, and I think I went to 5 of them. I didn't go to the Niners game when we were already done. I went to like every other game, and if you just wait like week of, 2 days before, day of, the tickets go way down. Like I even pulled the trigger too quickly for this Carolina game because I thought home opener, like I saw a good deal, wanted to get it. And then day of, like I was looking at tickets, and that's kind of the move. It's just like buy them ad hoc like that. Obviously, it'd be great to like lock in your seats and like get them, but I think you can save a ton of money. And then if you can't make it to a game, you don't have to worry about like trying to like resell and stuff. So I'm not going to get them at least this year, but expect I'll be at a lot of games. So yeah.
Yeah, we love that. I mean, we went to the one game out there, and they didn't stop calling me. They've been calling me like the past 2-3 months, talking about some tickets. I told her I may be going out there. She's trying to plan my group trip and all that. Come on, chill out.
Yeah, dude, they don't. It's great. You can't go.
I understand the sales calls, but like I just told you, I'm a fan. I'm gonna get out there when I can. I'm not even in Arizona. Please stop calling. So, they definitely, press the issue. They want people there, so the team got to perform. That's the only way people are really going to answer your calls like that. One more comment before we get started. Dana also mentioned, will the day and time be Wednesdays at 6 p.m. AZ time going forward during the season? We'll try. I mean, obviously, like our schedules are a little busy sometimes, just being in different places. So sometimes hard to coordinate. But overall, usually most of the time, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, probably find us here. Getting started talking about the game and previewing the next one. So just exactly as we'll do today, recapping this Panthers game. Jake, or Shaw, both of you, where do you kind of want to start? Because for me personally, I tell you, I don't have a place where I want to look into. Obviously, we can talk about the defense. We know what it is. Offensively, told y'all what I said last week. It's the same thing that it's going to be for X, Y amount of time. So I'm deferring to y'all boys. I see Shaw had to step out. Jake, where are you feeling like you kind of want to have some words to start this week? And we'll go straight into that for sure.
Yeah, I guess just recap the injuries. I think we dodged a bullet. Obviously, Garrett and LJ going to IR, but it seems like Gannon was hopeful that both those guys might be able to come back, which is great. I don't think he would say that if – like I think they definitely will come back because I don't think he would say that if there wasn't a very high chance that they do. You know how he is with, like, injury stuff, always – plays it close to the vest, never really, gives too much. So I was super happy to hear that. As far as just Max being fine, saw him running around at full speed today at practice. And then, I mean, Will, based on what he's been posting on the socials, it seems like he's going to be all right. So, yeah, I think from an injury front, I feel really good about that. And then also, too, I wanted to make the point that I feel pretty good about like Elijah Jones. I thought, Denzel Burke in his limited time, I thought he made a couple decent plays. I know I remember you saying something in the group chat about him getting exposed on something. Obviously being at the game too, it's sometimes tough because you can't always see everything. You know what I mean? Like I love going to games, but you definitely have an aspect of that. So I don't know if you saw some stuff that I didn't, but I thought he played pretty well. I think he was graded decently as well. I mean, Keitrell Clark, we've talked about it. He's always backflipping out of the tunnel. He's an athlete, and so and Gannon and Rallis both seemed very confident in the guys like stepping up and almost, dare I say, even excited for some of those guys to get a chance, to step into the spotlight. I think Rallis had said in the presser I watched today. So I'm pretty excited about that. Like, let those guys get healthy, but like, Nick, JG, neither really seems nervous. And those guys that, have that next man up mentality, it's pretty encouraging. And then I don't know if you guys saw Keitrell's locker room, like little media availability after the game, but they were asking him about how he stays prepared and got his opportunity and this and that. Dude, very well spoken, honestly. He was saying all the things you want to hear. Not saying anything like ridiculous or like crazy or that he deserves more time. Like he was like, like we're brothers here. It's not just a teammate. Like I hate to see those guys go down, but like I prepare to play every week. So that was encouraging to see too, bro. And for me, I think that highlights more of like the overall culture that they're building. Like Drew Petzing might be a bum, but like at least we're building something where if we're able to fire him mid-season, we can bring someone in and then just kind of bring them into the existing culture. You can't let one bad apple spoil the bunch. So
yeah, we can go into that DB room. Obviously, you talked about the injuries. That's something that it'll hinder the Cardinals. Obviously, it'll hinder them in terms of their depth, in terms of their best players playing. Seems like Will probably will have a chance to play on Sunday. We'll see. I'm hoping that's gonna be the case. But it seems like you said, Max. I would have thought Max would have been done for X amount of time, and he's out there, no knee brace, moving fine, as freely as possible. And then obviously you're talking about, Denzel Burke, who's a guy who I thought, like you mentioned, you said exposed. I probably felt more like dang, he has to play, which is why why I was like upset that he was out there. But again, Baldy came out and said, Denzel Burke, to him, played a great game. And you can see he had multiple pass breakups. Rewatching the game, I could tell he definitely went out there. Again, a 5th round rookie is as much as you can ask for. Obviously, the Panthers didn't have, superstar wide receivers out there. They had a rookie star receiver and then a bunch of journeyman guys. But they had Leggett too, but he didn't do much either. But they didn't have the best receivers. But to see a 5th round rookie, have success like that, is a comfortable spot. And as you mentioned, they seem to be very confident in Elijah Jones and, guys like that. Keytrell obviously came in. I said Keytrell is a possible cut candidate with all the DBs. And now, luckily, we still have him because of all the DB injuries and stuff like that. So it's definitely, a good, comfortable spot with the DBs. As I mentioned, I thought the DB room last year could have been, top 10 unit based on what we talked about this year. It's looking likely, if we can get some of the good guys back and some of the guys can stay healthy, this unit can still be a top 10 unit. Shaw, how are you feeling about the DBs? Obviously, the defense maybe in general, and then obviously the injuries that are going to be, hitting this front coming up right now.
Yeah. Real quick, I'm dog watching this week, so I got like a dog over here he's in an unfamiliar territory. So if I have to mic out for a little bit, it's because I'm chasing him down. He's doing something. But
so that good boy sit down and listen to some Cardinalytics right quick.
Yeah, he needs to chill. He's not gonna chill. But no, as far as the game goes, I felt like if it was just the first 35 minutes of the game, like the first half and like the first drive of the second half, like we'd be sitting here like talking about how like we're gonna be playing the Niners. We wouldn't even really be talking about this game because we would have went in there and did what we were supposed to do. Unfortunately, we have, I don't want to call the man a terrorist, but we got not a smart guy for an offensive coordinator. And I mean, you take the ball out of your best player's hands, Kyler. Kyler's been cooking all game. You take the ball out of his hands, and we go 3 and out. And we give the Panthers a chance to be in the game. And like, I watched the game with one of my friends. I was supposed to watch the game with 2 of my friends. 2 of them are Panthers fans, but one of them, he was kind of sick. So I watched it with the other one. And the whole game, he's just like, "Oh man, y'all got it." Like, like y'all gonna win. And I'm like, nah, I've seen this way too many times. Like something's gonna happen. Like y'all can get an onside kick, this and that, blah blah blah. And sure enough, like what can go wrong goes wrong, right? Like they get an onside kick, guys get hurt. I mean, because literally, like, it's no point for us to be playing that hard in a game when we're up 27-3. Like if we're not playing that hard, Garrett doesn't get hurt, Will doesn't get hurt. Like we go home, we're not having this conversation, even though we still might have a conversation about Marv and his usage because it's piss poor. But at the end of the day, we probably put up 30-something points, and we're talking about, okay, well, we watched the game, like. Marv had a defensive pass interference. He dropped the ball here. Like, clean those up. Like, it's a better game, right? But here we are, though, because of Drew Petzing and not being able to close the game, which is something that, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just every week. I mean, the past 2 weeks, Kyler said it. Everybody said it. We got to do a better job closing games. And this was a game that we should have closed. Granted, Kyler threw a pick. He was still balling. Like, I think that was probably his only mistake in the game. And you can't ask your quarterback to play 100% mistake-free football. Like, it's just not happening. Like, so I don't know, man. Like if none of this stuff, if the fourth quarter doesn't happen in this game, how it goes, we're having a totally different conversation. But I'm glad we're having this conversation because some things need to be addressed on the offense because it's just not going to cut it. Like, I feel like we've gone from, in my eyes, a 10-win team to an 8-win team, just an average team that's just getting by, because we're not doing the things that I know we're capable of doing. So
that's impactful. That's impactful. I think overall defensively we can wrap that up. Just pray for the corners. APB on Darius Robinson. I don't know what the hell is up with that. That is, I don't. Oh my boy. I don't know. Like there's zero things that you're doing up front. And I know you get good coaching because I follow you on IG. I see you work with BT Jordan. I see you go to the SAC summit, whatever the thing is. Like I see you're getting coaching from great players. I need you to lock in, my guy. That is insane what I'm saying. No way should you be on any ranking where you're, a bottom 10 player in your position. You're too talented and too physically talented of a player to be doing that. So let's reverse that a little bit. Obviously, people are saying he just has to play. He missed his last year. It's this quote unquote rookie season. It doesn't matter what time you play on. Like again, you're physical. If you're physical, like you can, if you have some type of skill, you have skill. Like you'll display that at any point in your career. So like, come on, let's lock in a little bit. I need some interior pass rush because these edges, they're humming. Baron Browning, top 10 in pressures, whatever he is. Josh Sweat making impact plays. Like these edges are humming, and they're praying for somebody in the middle to just make a quarterback have to continue to move back right into them, or they're making him move up right into you. Like these 4-man rushes that I think that you saw last, on Sunday, they weren't successful because there's not a lot of interior pass rush. Like Calais Campbell's older, Dalvin Tomlinson's older. These guys get fatigued during the game. Dante Stills is having great success in the run game, stopping runs like that. So he was, I think, the number one defensive tackle against the rush. But overall, like he's good in the rush. Like he's not a great pass rusher. So at the end of the day, it just comes down to like these guys got to lock in a little bit more defensively, but offensively, as Shaw mentioned. I mean, Jake, I'll let you talk about it. I've already talked about it enough. I don't think I need to talk about it anymore. Offensive coordinator Drew Petzing. I've put out there multiple times his schemes aren't good. I put out there multiple times his route designs aren't good. I put out there multiple times he's not a good play caller. I mean, I can't keep saying this. People, some people defend the tape that they watch. They say Kyle doesn't take enough shots, and I agree at the same time. But that's the coaching that they've coached into him. We know the older player is taking every type of shot that I've seen. I've seen him throw a 60-yard hole shot against cover 2. Like, don't tell me like he doesn't want to take chances with the football. Like if you're being coached to take what's there, take what's given, get completions, that's what he's going to do. He wants to be a good coachable player. So like, let's just back off, what you say or what you think the scheme could be or what you think the play is trying to go to, and more so just like, let's take what we're given. What we're given is that they're not taking those shots. What we're given is that Marvin Harrison, I'm seeing him get frustrated when he's not getting the ball over the middle. You're getting frustrated when you're not getting the ball over the middle, but as Baldy's pointing out, like, you're also not running your routes 100% all the time. You're also not giving as much impact or effort. And the damning thing that I heard Baldy say was that he just doesn't wow you. And I mean, number 6 in that same draft class wows you most of the time. And again, I don't think that has nothing to do with how their demeanors are or their attitude. That's just their play styles. So it'll be tough roading, but I'm not blaming. I'm not putting this on Marv or anybody else. I'm putting this on the OC. But like I said, I've already said enough about that. Jake, I know you've kind of last week, we kind of had it not a back and forth, but just a disagreement. Last week it was more so that, you're like, you thought it looked better. You thought it looked good. You have faith. What's your sentiment this week now that you've seen it again?
Yeah, I mean, I think you always gotta, give a little grace for especially week 1, but even the first couple weeks. However, in this situation, I was willing to overlook it week 1 because a lot of people, dude, I'm like the chronic Kyler defender. I hate to see the hate, but it's like I'm an addict to it. I can't look away. Always going at people back and forth. There's that new guy out there too, Ben Garcia, just loves to slam, dude. But yeah, enough is enough, dude. Like, I do try to be the eternal optimist with this team, but dude, the way I'm looking at it, I'm like, Kyler is playing, I would say, very good football this year. Like in terms of what he's asked to do and what he's been able to do, it was outside of that one play. My brother was texting me about it, giving him shit. Kyler sucks, this, that, the whole thing. I'm like, dude, he could have gotten rid of the ball a little faster, but like, dude, anytime he's had to get out of the pocket, it seems like there's someone on him immediately. And most of the time, he's able to shake him and like figure something out, playoff script. That one time, I mean, the defender made a great play, dude. It was the exact same play as what won us the game last year at San Francisco. We got to Purdy, we hit his arm, Kaiser White diving catch over the middle to seal the game. It was the same play. Like, that shit happens, dude. And these trolls online piss me off because
I mean, it happened in our game. Bryce.
What's up?
It is the same thing. I said the same thing happened to Bryce too. Like, I mean,
yeah,
it happened.
Yeah, exactly, bro. But with Kyler Murray, dude, I don't know what it is. And honestly, like, I didn't think the Michael Vick picture thing was an issue at all. I thought it was actually
I'm glad you understand
honestly.
that.
Yeah, no.
Like obviously, like what Mike Vick did, you know, with the dogs, no one on this podcast stands for, of course. It was messed up, but at the same time, dude, that happened when Kyler was like 9 years old, and it's like, dude, and I will say, like I was thinking about, like, dude, you got to just assume like people hate you for no reason. You can't give them anything.
Yeah.
So in that regard, like, I was a little annoyed. I'm not gonna lie, not at first, but I was annoyed after the fact at the reaction, which isn't really fair. But because when I first saw it, dude, I thought it was hilarious. And like anyone that follows this guy knows that he treats his dogs with the utmost like respect, love, bro. Like it's so obvious. And so like seeing that, it's like, okay, but I can understand someone that already has a predisposition to hate on this guy. They see that and they're like, Kyler Murray's an idiot. Like, he's so arrogant and like this and that. And it's like, dude, nah, like you just got to know him. He's, as Cliff Kingsbury said, dude, he's just like a different cat. Like, he's just does his thing, bro. There was no malicious intent behind that, but he had to apologize in the press conference today, take the post down. He's like, I treat my dogs like kings. It's just shitty, bro. Like, I didn't
realize he was facing that much backlash for that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until like I seen the interview.
Crazy. Like, you just go on Twitter, like everyone just loves to rip on this guy, and I get so pissed off. But like, dude, he's given what he's been asked to do and like the opportunities that he's had so far. I would give him like a solid B+, like for the year. Like the first 2 games, I would say like a B+. Like, he's been better than average for sure. He's made some crazy plays. Like, yeah, that pick was brutal, tough luck. But anyways. Besides,
you're also up 27 to, was it 3 at that point, or 27?
Yeah,
27-9.
Yeah, 27. So fourth quarter, like you don't.
Or was that the 27-15 one?
No, it was 27-9 because
27-9.
And you don't.
Oh yeah, because we went over 30-9. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You still don't expect to get anywhere near like the scare that we got at the end of the game, even with that turnover, right? And like, I get him trying to like extend the play a little bit because he just came off that crazy scramble that he had, which I'm sure like the crowd was going crazy when he broke off that run.
That was like, right. He finished like right in front of where my section was, and he would, dude. I don't know if like the TV camera showed this, but like,
dude,
he like went out of bounds, fucking chucks the ball, dude, and then he's like going nuts, dude, yelling like into the crowd, and people were going nuts, dude. Like, it was actually so electric, like. So, yeah, I think he was feeding off that, too. And, like, dude, like, shame on him for trying to put up some more points, dude, in what was a laugher of a game at your home opener turned, like, weird, running into brick walls, you know, 3-and-out drives, punting them the ball, giving them more chances. Like, yeah, bro, shame on him for trying to make something happen. And so that's what I hate. Like, what do you want him to do? Take the sack, make it a longer field goal? He tried to throw the ball. Like, he tried to get rid of it. Dude made a good play. Like, let's just leave it at that. Because to say that was – and my brother did this. Oh, that pick almost cost us the game. Dude, no. We were up 27-9 with, like, 6 minutes left. And then we let them go on this massive drive, which I believe they got bailed out because I know we had a big sack on that next offensive possession. Carolina.
Yeah, we did.
And then low key, shame on Nick, shame on JG for allowing that to happen. But dude, I don't know if you guys, like, I was drinking, so I was getting after it. I don't know if you guys had the same vibe, watching from home, but it felt like the whole game, dude, the defense just like started out like an 11 out of 10 and then just slowly was like, oh yeah, like let's just like play this fucking soft zone and just let them like make plays and let T-Mac go 6 catches, 100 yards with averaging almost 17 yards a catch. It just like, dude, that middle of the field was just wide open. And it's like, my 2 questions are, A, how does that happen? Like, how do you let that happen? Like, you got to just stomp on their throats. Like, JG, you came from Philly. Like, you got to have that killer instinct to just kill them. And B, why do we never get that? Like, why do we never have shit opener over the middle? Because it's like, and what it comes down to is like, yeah, I have enough faith in Nick and JG, of course, to like, I believe that they are very, very high intellect as far as, coaching a defense, scheming. And, with the offense, it does fall completely on Petzing just being this vanilla character, like almost as if he's like playing Madden or has never coached beyond like the high school level. Like it's brutal, bro. Like I feel like I would rather, Corey, have you go out there and try to scheme some shit up. Like honestly, dude, I'm like, it is so vanilla. And I forget who it was. One of the guys, was it Britton Golden actually on PHNX? Yeah. That was like slamming the offense and like finally exposing how vanilla it is. And yeah, dude, it's just, I don't know. I think it was a mixture of like the defense going soft and then you can't really blame the guys, but sort of just like getting sort of like vanilla with it, like just kind of.
I feel like it's just totally on coaching this last game because even Dana brings up a good point when she says that Raleigh stopped blitzing in the first quarter. Felt like it did feel like that. It felt like
Definitely.
you said, like the defense took their foots off their neck. And Nick Rallis, dialed the pressure back. It also seemed like Drew Petzing, like, took the ball out of Kyler's hands after he threw the pick. And then, I mean, we're not even talking about the special teams disaster. Why is Mac Wilson on the kickoff coverage, on the onside recovery team? Like, why is he out there?
Why is he on ass, bro?
Yeah.
So
I couldn't believe. I'm texting my bros group chat and I'm just like, I don't know why he's on hands. I can't even explain why he's on hands.
And that's coaching. Like having him out there is strictly coaching.
Dude, it's funny you say that because I was facing where my seats were. I was facing, our guys receiving the ball, and I see Mac, dude. I see that number 2, and I'm like, in my head, dude. I'm like, and like I said, I was feeling myself at this point. I definitely had a good amount of beers and stuff, and I'm just like into the game. But I'm like, what the fuck is Mac doing on the hands team, dude? Dude, and then I start thinking, like, God forbid they go at him, and they go right at him, bro. And what do you know? Out of 90 onside kicks in the new format, that's the first one
That's what I'm saying.
to be recovered. And I'm like, dude, this is just, dude. And then I start getting nervous. I'm like, dude, the amount of people that are going to be texting me, blowing me up about this loss if this happens. Like, my cousin's texting me at halftime, like, this is a laugher, blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, this is Carolina, Arizona. Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Sean, you were saying the same thing, and it's disappointing, dude. I'm still sick to my stomach about it. Like, I need Sunday badly. I need to feel better about this, and it's tough, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll fully move on from this Carolina game. Obviously, it feels good to beat the Panthers. As I said to y'all off air, this is a team that we feel like we should be beating. We just feel like it's a team that we feel like we should be having success against. So overall, it's just, it finally feels comfortable, beating them how we should. At the end of the day, the game got wonky as it did. It's wonky. So it's just, we're moving on from it overall. And obviously you got a real opponent that a lot of people consider, a top 10 team in the NFL right now. Obviously, they're banged up as well, which again goes to show kind of just the reputation of certain teams and coaches, regardless of their rosters. They get a reputation and then they kind of it's just ran with overall. But the San Francisco 49ers in Santa Clara this week. Big game for the Cardinals coming up here. Obviously, we mentioned our worrisomes with Drew Petzing, but Drew Petzing games against, the 49ers and, in terms of kind of how they've gone pretty well. He's had a little bit of success against the 49ers in that scheme. Obviously, they have, Robert Saleh back. A lot of people believe that their defense is playing at a different type of level. Fred Warner kind of mentioned it a little bit. But, are we worried about the offense going into this game against the 49ers defense that, again, in my opinion, you talk about a defense that in comparison to ours, it's like, yes, obviously I'm going to take Fred Warner and Nick Bosa first, but then I'm probably going to take maybe three Cardinals, and then I'll take another 49ers. So again, like, I think overall, when you base it off the entirety of the defenses, it's a much more closer contest than what it is. But what the difference is coming down to, which again, I just literally just tweeted this out on my page, but as I shared a video that from this podcast 4 months ago about kind of how I was speaking about Nick Ross being our type of guy. Nick Ross is apparently the number one coordinator in terms of, I guess, play calling and scheme variation. I'm not quite sure the data points on that graph. I would have to take a look and do some data, but he's up there with the likes of Jesse Minter, who I literally just watched on Monday Night Football get double hand twisted all night when they talked about Jesse Minter. So like I just think Nick Ross obviously has his chance, but you talk about Robert Saleh and they just say, well, 49ers defense is back. So, how are we kind of feeling about the defense going into this game? Obviously with the injuries, I saw the question that had just popped up, who will be tasked with handling CMC out the backfield routes. I probably would say Matt, but with no George Kittle this week, I would love to see Buddha have to handle that. Let's have a Buddha versus CMC matchup this week, and kind of see what it goes in there from there. But how are you boys feeling about the defense this week? I'm feeling kind of confident based on how Baldy just sold me on Denzel Burke and his performance. How I still have faith in Elijah Jones, like you mentioned, Jake, I believe. Obviously, Will Johnson seems like he'll be okay. At least on Sunday, maybe they rest him on Sunday because we have a game on Thursday after that. But seems like Will Johnson, if he can play, he probably wants to play and will play. And then you have Max out there as well, along with the other guys. Darren Hall, who just got called up, made a play in the preseason. So how are we feeling about defense and kind of what we need to do to win this game this week on defense?
Dude, I got to jump in real quick. So that dude that's been commenting is Mayday on Twitter. So I know you guys
know Mayday.
That's my buddy. Didn't know he's coming in, but glad to have you here, brother. Love the commentary too about CMAC, and I'd love to have Mac Truck on CMAC, but I do like the Buddha call as well. Especially, honestly, my bad. I'm not sure if you just said this, Corey, but without Kittle in the game, I think that'd be a great assignment for him to kind of key in on Christian. But I'm feeling great about the defense, man. I think that's obviously the best part of our team right now. As we were talking about, I'm pretty confident in the DB room still, even with the injuries. Dude, I'm looking at Sports Illustrated right now, and this site is not credible at all. It's saying like Garrett Williams is questionable for the game. Brock Purdy.
You going at Donnie's people, man.
Dude, crazy, bro. I mean, this is absurd, dude. It says Brock Purdy is officially out. I was just seeing a tweet that he might be playing, dude. I think he practiced today. I saw some sort of meme out there where it was like Brock Purdy after seeing Mac Jones' performance. He's like off the couch, dude. You know what I mean? Like just springing up. So I thought that was pretty funny, but dude, I'm just genuinely not super nervous about facing Mac Jones. Obviously, you guys know from New England, I watch a lot of Patriots football. I watch a lot of Mac Jones. I was probably that guy's biggest hater, and I do not think that he is very good. He looked good, obviously, this past week. I think that was a product of having, one of the greatest running backs probably to ever lace him up at his disposal as a scat back, and kind of make him look better than he is. Obviously, he's still got big Trent Williams on that left side to make things easier, but what was it? Dude, they played the Saints, which I don't think we played that great against the Saints. And dude, how many drops did those receivers, Juwan Johnson, like brutal drops, dude. Like Rattler looked good again. I think the Niners got kind of lucky to scrape out of there with that. Like I said, Mac played better than I thought he would have, but I'm not intimidated by him at all. I think we have a much better pass rush than New Orleans does, especially with guys like Sweaty J starting to get warm. Baron Browning, bro, like he has been an absolute stud. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of him. I think he's just going to continue to be a game wrecker. And I mean, dude, hopefully some of these guys, Marv, I mean, not to bring back the offense, but Darius Robinson. I hope these guys like go on social media and see what people say about them, because Darius Robinson, dude, what was he graded out at like a 30 in PFF? Like, Corey, as you were saying, I think I saw the same thing. He was like bottom 10 rated at the position in the league.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, this guy was a first-round pick out of the SEC, had like 9 sacks his senior year. It's like, you got to get going, dude. There's no excuse. So, yeah, man, I think we're gonna get after Mac. I think we're gonna give him a lot of issues. And that dude, he sees pressure, dude. Loves to just throw the ball, just get. I could see a couple interceptions. I think we get at least like 3 sacks. Probably gonna have to come the side opposite of Trent. Does Josh Sweat always line up on the right side? Or
they
move him around, I thought.
Okay, because I feel like I'm primarily seeing him on the right. Now that you say it, I feel like maybe it has.
I feel like I've seen him on the right. Obviously, that's kind of maybe his base, but I've seen him. I feel like line up on the middle sometimes, and possibly on the other side as well. So, and we're deep at edge rusher, so there's a lot of guys we can throw at Trent.
I was gonna say it might be something to try to exploit, maybe get him on the opposite side of Trent. But yeah, man, I as far as the defense goes, like the question you asked Corey, I feel very strongly about that. It's the offense that's giving me worries. So
yeah. Shall I real quick before you go? I know Dana threw this comment in here talking about the offense. She said, "Why do you all feel that run blocking is so anemic compared to last year?" Me personally, I just think they're just not playing physical enough, and as well as like Baldy mentioned, Derek Brown is just that guy. When he's healthy, he's been that guy before. So Isaiah Adams is having a tough time, I think, overall. And again, it could come down to the run schemes. It's the same players for the most part, which to me, that's why I'm not quite on the coaching aspect of it. It's the same players. Yes, you can get told a different thing, but it is the same players. They're literally running the same plays. I recall. I'm 1,000% sure of that. It may just come down to just being more physical, getting more more aggressive, and just having more success. And like I said, Isaiah Adams to me is just kind of struggling a little bit, as well as Evan Brown and Froholt for that part as well is not great now as well as I've seen before. So, and obviously Jonah Williams, we know he's not great. So. But yeah, that's to me personally. I don't know what you fellas think, but
I feel like we had success when we were pulling people this weekend. Like the second they were trying to maul them up front, they just weren't pushing nobody. And the second they started pulling them and kind of like running some stretch plays, getting like Connor to the outside, there was some success. But I don't know, man. I just feel like that right side of the line is just like it's just a problem. Like between Adams and Jonah Williams, it's just not good.
Like I was saying earlier, I was saying earlier. I think I was telling you maybe the middle off air. The offensive line is rated highly in a lot of metrics. A lot of metrics. They're top 10, and that includes the run blocking metrics that they're also included in the top 10. Which again, I don't know what they're watching, and I don't know how that's graded out. But like that, they are being graded highly in terms of metrics that counteract this. And it's the same metrics that had the Broncos, who had the top offensive line last year. They're also, up there again as well. So I don't know. It's interesting to see.
And maybe just the league, like other teams just haven't been able to run the ball either. Because honestly, like I've watched us obviously, and I've watched a couple other teams, but like
I haven't heard a team have a big rushing day either, though. I agree with you. Except for the Ravens. Except for the Ravens in that first game. Yeah.
And the Falcons. The Falcons had Bijan's been running crazy.
Jonathan Taylor too has been going nuts.
Yeah. But as far as the defense though, for this game, I kind of agree with you, Corey. I'd like to see like Buddha on CMC, either Buddha or Rabbit on CMC, because like I watched their game against the Saints this weekend, and I was hate watching for sure. Was definitely hate watching, and they did a lot of motioning CMC like I wouldn't even say out the backfield, like they wouldn't even line him up. They just motion him to the right, and he's almost like you just know he's running a route, right? Like. And so anytime we see that, I would love to see like a safety or whoever, like Buddha or Rabbit, with whatever side they're on, come down and kind of man that up or take that away. Because honestly, outside of Christian McCaffrey, like I feel like our defense has done a good job of like keeping everything in the middle of the field. Like we're not getting beat on the outside. We're not getting beat deep down the field. And the Niners don't really have receivers like that to. I mean, Ricky Pearsall he's all right, but like he's not going to beat you over the top. And same with Jawan Jennings. Like, you're not going to get beat over the top by those dudes because they're not like speed guys. So, like, we can keep everything in the middle of the field, take away McCaffrey. Like, I feel pretty confident. Mac Jones, Brock Purdy, like, it don't matter. Like, I don't.
It don't matter to me either.
Like, I saw a clip. I saw a clip online where I think it's Dan Orlovsky. He said like years ago, he was like, Mac Jones could come in San Fran and basically play just as good as Brock Purdy, and he's doing that. So it's like either or, they're the same guy to me. It doesn't matter. But taking away McCaffrey, I mean, we could do that, then we'll be all right.
Yeah, he's killed us overall. Panthers or 49ers. So this is with no Kittle this time. This would be a great opportunity for them to truly key on their one guy that you think could beat you in this game, and then let everybody else. All right, Pearsall, Jennings, Tongies, Farrell, whoever's out there, use check. Like, please beat me one-on-one. That's my message in the group, in the meeting rooms, is please beat me one-on-one. If those guys will not beat me one-on-one, I will make sure McCaffrey does not. Like, and we lose in that way because our offense can't give me 24. Like, so be it. Like,
yeah.
Go ahead, Jake. My fault.
Oh no, you're good. I was just gonna say, McCaffrey, dude, has had like his best career games against us when he's at Carolina and then with San Fran. You gotta put a man on him, bro. Like, if you get him like out running a route, and you can have like one of those, you know, whether it be Buddha or Rabbit, just actually covering him. I'm not really too worried about him doing anything crazy, especially like straight up rushing the ball too. In this past game, 13 carries for 55 yards, about a 4-yard average. That's nothing crazy. Which, you know, I think it's just a matter of like, if they, in shot, you were saying it, like when he kind of they bring him in motion, and he's clearly going out for a route. You can't let this guy get the ball in space, because that's when he's at his best. That's when he's going to kill you. If you can get a man on him, bro, I'm not too worried about him, like, you know, shedding a tackle and then getting going, because by that time there should be guys swarming. It's him getting the ball, you know, behind the line of scrimmage, or, you know, a couple yards past with space, and then he's just going to make you look like an absolute joke. So I think that should be like a pretty key detail. But yeah, I do agree with the same sentiment. Mac Jones, Brock Purdy, basically one and the same. I don't think either of them are good. Yeah, that's all I got to say on that.
Yeah, and Nick Miles, don't play safe. Like, please, like, I know you don't listen to me, but don't play safe. Like, I'm not afraid of this offense hurting me outside of one player. Don't play safe, please. It ain't no reason to. Like, there's like literally zero reason to. I'm truly appreciative of you and, you know, your skills and what you're doing, but no playing safe this week. Like, you have to attack them and keep your foot on the gas, because who knows what the offense is going to do. You got to keep your foot on the gas. There is no choice. I think Dana mentioned take care. Appreciate you coming through, Dana, always. You know, we're just a couple of guys talking football. It's nothing crazy at all. But, you know, as I mentioned, offensively going into this game, I think this offense, there's been a lot of up and downness, a lot of criticism. Obviously, after this week, there's been criticism for me personally overall. But this is a week where if you're going to be a playoff team, it doesn't matter. Like, again, it doesn't even come down to just winning the game, because, again, whatever happens. It is still early in the season. But if you're going to be a playoff team, you need to be able to score this week. And it's not just basing it off of how you can score, or if you can score, or what may be there. You need to score points. The more points you score, the more chance you'll have to win the game. I think it's pretty obvious there. But in terms of this game, like, the more points you score, the more chances you give your defense to get a stop and a turnover and have success in that point. So please, offense, I don't care about the outside noise at this point. Like, find ways to get into the end zone. I don't care if it's passing touchdown, rushing touchdown. Find ways to get into the end zone, because the more points you're able to generate, the better chance that obviously we will have to beat these guys. So y'all offensively, I know I just made the simplest, you know, assessment of how you can win a football game. But, you know, how are y'all feeling about the offense this week? Are y'all in the same boat as me, where it's just like, at this point, it is what it is, find ways to score and I'm done? Or, you know, do you want to see something this week? Is there something that you're kind of looking for this week?
Yes.
Go ahead, Jake.
I'll keep it short and sweet. I want to see Marv with at least 6 catches. I want to see Trey continue doing what he's doing. Hopefully get in the end zone. I want to see Kyler throw 3 touchdowns, man. At least 2. But like we gotta see the passing game get going, because the style of football that we've been playing, bro, it's been years of this shit with Petzing. He's gotta just say fuck it, dude, and just start spamming the passing plays. I mean, don't get me wrong, we got to get the rushing game going, because obviously it opens up the pass. And I think that's another reason why passing game hasn't looked great this year, is because, I mean, through 2 games, we can't run the ball. So it's like they're expecting us to pass it. It just obviously makes everything easier. Yeah, I want to see Marv with at least 6 catches. I'd like to see a touchdown. I don't care if he does. But a small tidbit from Petzing's presser too was talking about Marv not winning that fade in the end zone, and he said he still has full confidence in that. He's going to keep dialing it up. So maybe we get redemption. I know Marv also said he wishes he could go back to that moment and turn around, locate the ball quicker, and jump through it. But actually, now that I bring this up, dude, I do want to talk about this very briefly, because we haven't gotten to this. And Corey, I don't know if you were planning to get to the Marv aspect. If so, I'll wait.
No, go ahead, dude. Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Dude, this guy is just baby powder soft, man. I remember saying the same thing last year. But it's this whole thing in the offseason, dude, about him putting on all this muscle, and now he's this physical freak. He looks the exact same, dude. And if anything, maybe he should have lost 10 pounds so he could have gotten faster, because he's not quick either. If you're not quick, you got to be that Larry Fitz role. I mean, and the crazy thing is, dude, like spec-wise, I would imagine that Marv is like faster than Larry was. But, dude, Larry's game speed was insane. Like, you see all those plays, dude, where he just took it to another level in game. And Marv just doesn't have that, dude. It's like, I don't even know, dude. It almost feels like a lack of like testosterone or something. It's just like, it's the craziest thing. Like, I don't mean to slander the guy, but like I want to see the man do well, dude. Like, I have a lot of love for the guy, but that ball, dude, the 45-yard catch in week 1, Kyler threw a perfect ball. Like, the 3 of us could probably have made that catch. It was literally right there, dude. Like, perfect ball. He didn't have to do anything. His classic just breadbasket technique, dude. But on a fade ball in the end zone, dude, against a guy that you have like 6 inches on, like, you can't fight through that, dude. Like, we've all played football. Like, that's not a hard route to win.
Y'all think that Marv just be out there scared to make mistakes? Because like,
maybe,
like, he doesn't play, to me, he doesn't play with any type of aggressiveness.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like to all of us, like how many times have we asked, like, yo, Marv, like, go up and go get the ball, like go fight through the contact, get the ball.
It's just a soft level of play, dude.
Yeah.
That ball,
I don't know.
I went back and watched that, dude. That was a perfect ball. Like, the DB was in a blender.
100%.
His back was to Kyler. The ball is right there. All you have to do is just step into it. It's right there. Yeah. But he's like going up to it like this, and it's like, dude, this is a fade. Like, why are you facing the quarterback like this? You're not turned around, tracking it over your shoulder. Dude, go up for that ball. It's like the first thing you learn as a receiver. Like, attack the ball, dude. The DB is facing you. And if you can't do that, you're at least going to draw a pass interference. And then the ball is on the 1-yard line. So it's like that is egregious, dude. And I'm not willing to let that go. Like, that was a bad miss. And all these people, dude, and it comes back to like, dude, I love Kyler, bro. Like, this dude's stats should be way better than they are. And his team and offensive coordinator are hurting him. Thank God for Michael Wilson, dude, like, actually catching the ball when Kyler delivers an absolute dime, layered it through traffic. At least he was able to hold on, because he did the same thing to Marv on the out route to the sideline, dude. Perfect ball. Hits him right in the hands. And watching that play, dude, I'm like, come on, dude. Like, you see all these trolls on the fantasy apps and Twitter throw Marv the ball, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, he does. Like, the same thing happened last year. He was throwing him the ball, and the dude drops a lot of balls. And what I will say in Marv's defense, in this day and age, I don't know what it is, but a lot of guys do drop balls. Like CeeDee Lamb, right? Like, the guy is a freak. I
think we might have lost him.
I said he was losing.
He's getting like 12 to 15 targets a game. Like, so when Mar's getting 4 targets, if he's dropping
Yeah.
2 of them, it looks awful.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's something's got to
Yeah.
change. He's basically like a little bit better than Michael Wilson so far, and the expectation versus reality is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I said it earlier. It's just that for number 4, for somebody like Baldy to say that you don't wow him on tape, that's pretty damning in terms of the pick selection and who the player is, and everything that comes with the name and the quote unquote continuing the family legacy. Like he said these things, Charlotte. I'm not trying to add on into what he wants to do. Like he said these things. He said that's what his job is. So it's like right now it's just like I don't know if it is about being scared to make a mistake. I think it's just flat out mistakes. Like you just continue to make mistakes. There's things that you continue to do that what you should be doing, because we talk about it after the game saying, yeah, well, I could have did this. Yeah, well, I could have did that. Like, again, Kyler is not perfect. He cannot hit you over the middle every time like that. And that's the only passes that you feel like you're most comfortable getting. Then it's going to be a tough road when we have to let you go to another team, because that's not going to happen if Kyler's a quarterback. So it's like when he does throw you the ball, and when you get open and when you have these chances, yes, you might not be a contested ball catcher. You may not be able to get up, but you've got to get up. That's the choice that we're making with you as a football player on this football team. So as Jake mentioned, when a fade ball is coming your way, you running your 2-step, you're getting out, you're running towards the pylon angled this way. The DB is literally faced towards you because he's trying to keep up with you. The ball is in the air floating. Stop, as Jake mentioned, and go up and try to catch the ball. There's 2 options, and only good is going to come out of it. Nothing bad. So I don't know quite what the mindset is that you consistently have to let the ball touch your chest plate before it's secured. Like, use your 2 football hands and catch them. Like that's the things that you're built to be able to do. Like, and again, the movement, we knew he wasn't a mover as physically, athletic, or not physically athletic, but as explosive as some of the other guys. But again, we drafted you because this football team is looking for consistency, and you don't give us that. That's the issue right now, is that we're not getting consistency when we throw to you. People aren't consistent in terms of getting you the ball either, like quarterback and OC combined. But at the same time, it's like when your number is called, you got to succeed. And I put it out there. I said, like, obviously when people put it up, like as I'm mentioning, maybe it seems like I'm killing them, but like his mistakes are always much louder because the opportunities are so less. Like as Jake, this is exactly probably what you were just mentioning. Like, they can drop CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors. All these guys can drop 1 million passes and still get another 1 million targets on top of it. So it offsets a lot of the stuff that they do. Like, when you only get 6 chances a game and you mess up on 2 or 3, like, then it's like you have 3 catches for 35 yards, and they say Kyler Murray does, like you said, Kyler Murray doesn't throw him the ball. They don't get Mar the ball. Like, no, he had 7 targets. He just didn't come down with a bunch of them that were open and easy. Like, that's just kind of how it goes when it comes to him. So I'm not out the train. I'm not fully. I had the rivalry jersey on right now. You can't quite see it or not, but I had the rivalry jersey Marvin on. Like, I'm not out the camp, but I need you to do what's best for this football team. Obviously, you put it out there that it's silly to think about targets. We're 2-0. That's fine. So I don't care about your targets either. But when I throw you the ball, you better make a play. Like, that's really kind of how I look at it. You want to win? That's how you win.
Dude,
So,
it's not expected.
Oh no, I was about to say it's almost as if like we should have went out and signed a Stephon Diggs, signed a Keenan Allen, signed
Stephon Diggs would have
somebody.
been great this year.
Sign somebody who not necessarily is going to take Mar's spot. You know what I'm saying? They're not necessarily going to, be the focal point of the offense, but somebody who's going to like teach Marv how to be a receiver in the NFL, because clearly, like, I mean, he came into the system where he was the guy last year, and there's nobody else on the team deemed of like, his caliber. You had Mike Wilson, you had Greg Dortch, and these guys are still on the team, but it's just like nobody's really, I mean, yeah, you got your dad to teach you how to be a receiver, but he was a receiver in the league how many years ago?
10 plus years ago almost.
Exactly. So like I feel like some of these mistakes, yes, some of them are mistakes, but then also it's just like we're still waiting on him to learn and grow in the position. And it's like you're too talented to be making some of these mistakes. Like, it's just It's
Stop
frustrating.
overthinking. Stop overthinking.
I'm not even
Way
expecting.
too much of an overthinker.
Like, I'm not expecting making all these crazy catches every single time, but it's like never makes one, dude. Like, it's like he never makes
it's the routine ones. The routine ones are the ones where it's like a fade ball when the receiver's to your back, like where receiver has the back to the quarterback and he's facing you. That's routine stop and catch. That's routine stuff that you do in every fade ball drill and stuff like that. And again, it's not like I think Jake, you just mentioned it. The ball's not going to be perfect every single time. Like it's not. But your job as a receiver is to help adjust to your quarterback and catch it at a certain point. So it's just not overthinking.
Is Marv's craziest catch his first touchdown?
Yeah.
Like, is that probably his best catch against the Rams when he's going in the back of the end zone?
That fourth down catch against the 49ers is pretty.
I mean,
I feel like that one's pretty impressive.
Okay.
But in terms of his best one, I probably would say like you're correct. His best one is probably that one.
Because I'm just like,
we haven't seen a crazy toe tap. I mean, no.
We haven't seen a contested catch, bro. He has like one contested catch in his career. Like
that Rams catch on the Sunday that Saturday night game on the sideline, that was an impressive catch. And the first game, I think too.
Yeah,
he had two catches against the Rams. Yeah, I think he had another catch against the Rams on the Saturday night game. That was pretty impressive as well. But yeah, that's probably the best one. So overall, I'm just like, you're just overthinking still. I don't understand the point of overthinking. Just go out there and play football. Use your hands. I don't know why everything has to touch your chest plate before you catch it. It's kind of confusing.
I don't want this to come off, at least for me, as like I'm just like hating Marv, because it's more than just Marv. It's also, obviously like the coordinator and getting him involved. But but he shouldn't have to necessarily be involved all the time for us to feel comfortable about him to make plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, for us to feel comfortable that in the third quarter when we need a play or we need, a catch in the end zone, like, you can go out there and you can do that. The one thing that they do a good job of is, if the roles were reversed, I feel like the fantasy community, the fans, everybody would have no problem. They do a good job of targeting him in the red zone. If Trey McBride was the one getting targeted in the red zone, but Marv was eating up the field, everybody be like, Marv's getting 8 catches a game. He's getting 100 yards. But he might end up with like 5 touchdowns. But Trey McBride is getting 3-4 catches a game, and he ends up with 10 touchdowns. Like, nobody's complaining about that. But they do a good job of targeting Marv in the red zone. He just needs to do a better job of coming and converting more of those.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think anybody here on this podcast is out on Marvin Harrison Jr. I think we need more. There's opportunities for people that were drafted after you that could fit this football team, whether it comes to scheme wise or in terms of just overall talent and production. And overall, the last thing, like, I feel like you probably fellas also agree. Like, for me personally, there's no need to be a diva as a wide receiver to be successful. We are fans of a team or with a player who was the ultimate sacrificial player. And he's still top 5 of all time receiver in the NFL. So there's like, you don't need to be crying about targets, bitching on the sideline all the time and complaining and shit. You don't need to do that, because at the end of the day, your success is based on how hard you work. So you can't call him a bad worker. You can't say he doesn't, work to make himself a better player. He just has to lock in a little bit more. And that's really what it comes down to. You're too talented to have any type of, misfortune like this. So score predictions for this 49ers game. We talked a lot about, offense and defense, but score predictions for this 49ers game. Jake, how are you feeling going into this game? I'm sure you're predicting a W. But what kind of outcome is this game going to be?
Yeah, I think I'm optimistic it's going to look better. I think we've played 2 almost feels like preseason like games these first 2 weeks. We're sitting here 2-0. To me, this feels like week 1. Like, this is where we get to see how the team actually looks against a true playoff caliber team. I think it's going to be some good, some bad. like I said, I just am not a believer in Mac Jones at all, nor am I in Purdy, but especially Mac Jones. I think we win this game on the road. I'm going to say 27-24. I think it's gonna end up being close. I'd like to predict, 31-10. That's just not gonna happen. I like 27-24. Probably a tie game, and Ryland, gets a chance to show off the leg.
It'd be nice to have a Ryland game winner in San Francisco again. That'd be lovely. Shad, how are you feeling about this game? What are you thinking numbers wise coming up into this one?
Yeah, honestly, I feel the same way as Jake. I'd probably have it a little bit closer. I think it's going to be probably like a 1-point game. I think it was a 1-point game last year, the first time we played. So I'd go like 28-27, something like that.
That should be a barn burner, 28-27. I mentioned this out there as well. I'm leaning 24-21. I think Cardinals win this one 24-21. Chad Ryland kick would be nice, but I think the Cardinals had the lead and they kind of shut down the 49ers on while they're on defense and close out the game again. I had no faith on this offense to work on closing out games. But if they can do that, that'd be nice. But I think this defense ends it for us again this week. And just there's something brewing about this team. There is something special. We can feel it overall. The 49ers are a stiff competition historically, but their current roster is in comparison to ours pretty even. Do they have more names? Do they have popular coaches? Yes, but the rosters wise, they're decently even based on their youth of their other players, the inexperience of their other players, and then what we have as well coming back. So I'm definitely excited for this one. Can't wait to see how this kind of goes. Obviously, 49ers fans are abundant. They talk as much shit as they want to. Doesn't matter what kind of success they haven't had, and whatever the case may be. But they'll be out in throws, and hopefully the Cardinals can go out there and secure themselves another victory this week, and go 3-0, and then as well as starting 1-0 in the division. That'd be huge. So, you boys have anything else before we head it out today?
Yeah. You go, Shad.
I was just gonna say, yeah, best case scenario, man. Like we go in, we do what we need to do. Like you said, we kind of were up maybe like 10 points in the games in hand because we got a short week against Seattle. We play on Thursday night, so best case scenario, we get it handled by the third quarter, and we don't have a Carolina Panthers collapse or almost collapse.
Meanwhile, the Seahawks get the Saints at home before they get us to before Thursday. So
hey, look, that's gonna be an interesting game, man. If Rattler keeps playing like how he's been playing, like I don't know if you really like watched the Saints, Corey, since we played them, but like he looked pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
Like he looked really good, honestly. So
I saw the game was close. I saw they came out or had made a couple plays at the end to try to come back into it. Didn't get a job done, obviously, but yeah, I mean, I hope they can do something to Seattle. I hope they can bang them up a little bit before we play them. But go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, honestly, like I actually agree with Sean. I think there's a chance that the Saints could beat the Seahawks. I think Seahawks are another one of those up and down teams. Saints are hungry, bro. They've played 2 close games against the NFC West.
That's crazy as shit. They get in 3 NFC West teams in the first 3 weeks.
Third
That's tough.
I feel like they got to get it done. But
yeah.
One last thing I was going to say is don't be surprised if Michael Wilson has a day on Sunday. For whatever reason, he's a 49er guy. So
going back to those Stanford area out there.
Yeah, I guess by like our standards with Petsing, big day would be like, I don't know,
60 yards.
40 yards.
40 yards.
You know what I mean? So
60 yards and a touchdown. There you go. 4 catches. There you go, Mike.
I will say though, like last thing, dude, if we can just come out of this game with a win, get to 3-0 against a team that's objectively better than the first 2 opponents, I feel like the entire fan base as a collective and the national media will start to feel, much better about this team. So positive thoughts, fellas. We got 4 more days.
Not looking forward, but in my estimation, how I looked at the season, it was always with these next two games, can you split them? But
No.
I'm sort of like on the opposite side of not saying this, but like, dang, if we lose this one, it's not so bad if we can beat Seattle. I'd rather beat Seattle than beat the 49ers. I want to beat both, obviously, but it would be deflating if we came at home and then lost to the Seahawks on a Thursday after going out there to Santa Clara and kind of playing a San Francisco team. But obviously, I'm not worried about all that 2-0 mindset, but you know, I remember my schedule prediction earlier in the season, just laid out at least a split going these next two. So, but it would be lovely to get the first win. You know, get the first game out of the way, get your one, and then I can be content with a Seattle performance that may not result in a win, but still look good. So, you know, we'll see what comes of it.
Nah, bro, we gotta win that Thursday night game, prime time. You gotta show the world.
You see what I'm saying? You see why I'm like, okay, well, what if we play the 49ers tough and we lose by a field goal, and then it's like, damn, like, but we just played y'all tough. I know we can beat y'all. Versus like, all right, Thursday night, now everybody watching us, and we in these new jerseys, and we beat the shit out of the Seahawks. It's like, what's going to draw more vibes? Like, I don't know.
I agree. If I had to choose like a close loss to San Fran and then beat Seattle in primetime, or pump San Fran and lose to Seattle in primetime, I'm taking option one, dude. But let's just go win them both. Let's win them both.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's go win them both. But appreciate y'all, you know, stopping through. Class in SSC just said peace out, so appreciate you coming through. And yeah, we'll catch y'all next week. Hopefully, we're talking about a victory, another victory, and a 3-0 start, and we'll definitely be feeling 2021 vibes if we get that 3-0 start going. So, I'll catch you boys on the next one. We'll see ya.
All right, catch y'all later.
Catch you boys.